Happy Tuesday! Time for Tidbit Tuesdays. So last week I talked about getting large hospital bills and what to do if you receive a large hospital bill. So I'm going to give you an example of why this is so important to question everything. So last June, Baylor Scott and White Hospital, or insurance rather, I'm sorry, Baylor Scott and White Insurance was fined by the State Board of Insurance $60,000 for failure to pay claims properly, denying prior authorizations, denying coverage as far as saying eligibility. There's a whole list. You can look it up on the State Board of Insurance site, see all the things they were fined for. They had to put some systems in place to make that better. But again, this goes all back to evaluating. If you think it's wrong and you feel like it's wrong, it's probably wrong. Just like I talked about the lady who had a baby and Baylor Scott White Insurance was refusing to pay for the baby, which makes zero sense because babies are covered the first 30 days. Fought them. To my knowledge, the client still has not received another bill from them after we fought it. Maybe this judgment helped them realize that maybe they did that wrong. Shocker. So, I cannot stress enough, you guys, to make sure, and all insurance companies, unfortunately, it can be a pain that you have to, one could say you shouldn't have to do this, but the reality is, we check our bank statements, we check our credit cards, things happen. You have to be your own advocate and make sure insurance pays properly. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, it's annoying that you have to spend time doing this, but again, it's your money and you should get the benefits that you're paying for. You're paying for insurance. You want it to pay like it says it's supposed to pay in the policy. You can always file complaints with the State Board of Insurance because the more people that file complaints, then they're likely to investigate. The Baylor Scott and White Insurance incident was due to an audit. I am sure there are plenty of complaints that helped prompt that. But all insurances can go under random audits with the State Board of Insurance to determine if they're doing things in the right way. And it really comes down to training employees. OMG, having run medical offices, it's the same thing when you go to medical offices and they tell you your insurance doesn't cover this, or your copay is this, and you don't have a deductible. They are clueless. I hate to say this, but most places just hire people that it's fine if they don't have any experience, but you need to train them. And they can't train them properly if the person training them doesn't know about insurance. So I think it's just really important to figure this stuff out because it determines how the doctor gets paid, how the hospital gets paid, how your bills are paid by the insurance company. You have really, I can't beat this dead horse enough. You have really got to understand enough about your policy and question everything. If you don't think it's right, compare what insurance says it pays versus the bill you get from the hospital. Make sure that's right. There's a lot of times that it's not right. For instance, I have a family member now that has Medicare and did a televisit, and apparently the doctor's office billed for an in-office, used the code for an in-office office visit. Well, in the past, the previous plan this family member had paid it. Well, there was some question about they used the wrong code for the length of the appointment. But on this particular one, Humana is actually the new insurance provider this year. And Humana actually sent an EOB to the family member saying, we processed the claim, we denied it because your doctor billed it wrong. Oh, and you don't owe anything right now. We've contacted the doctor. Amazing. Amazing that they figured that out. And they're letting the doctor know now that they need to bill it in a different way. And if the family member, we gets a bill from the doctor, we just have to show them the explanation of benefits, or EOB, from the insurance company saying we don't owe them. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. So I like that some insurance companies are being proactive and really evaluating coding. The same thing with upcoding. This particular doctor's office charged a code that was for a 40-minute appointment when it was a 10-minute televisit. I helped them question that, and all of a sudden it disappeared from the statements. No longer on the account because the doctor's office doesn't want to get in trouble for Medicare fraud. It is fraud to upcharge for something you didn't do. All insurance companies have this problem. It's even worse if it's Medicare because now you get the federal government involved, and you don't want to be, in trouble with the federal government. So, my message again this week is question everything, check your bills. You can see if things match up, and if it's a large amount, call and see. Look at the coding, because the coding, like for this doctor's visit, said 30 to 40-minute appointment. Well, we knew this family member didn't have a 30 to 40-minute appointment. That's not rocket science. You can actually Google the codes and look up and see what that is. So that's also something you can do if you get an itemization. Google the codes and make sure you had those services done. I know it's a little bit harder with the hospital bill because there's so many things, but if it says someone gave you insulin and you're not diabetic, well, that's probably wrong. Just saying. So, again, my message, please, 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 check your bills. Don't just pay the first bill. Book by Marshall Allen. Never pay the first bill. Check it out. And until next week, peace out.